Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host, our very good friend, is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to all listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island UK Season 9, Episode 4, Chris. Now, I know the temptation is to start at the end, but apart from that, let's keep our powder dry there. Where would you like to start today?
Well, Dave, I think we should start with, there was a little bit of friction there. We had Zara, who's obviously trying to discover who she likes in the villa. She got on that date with Ron, and she sort of was chatting to the girls, and she just said, the lads are coming over, and she's like, and he's going to, you know, like your women, your ladies, and she ends up sort of picking Kai up.
That was weird, that wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very strange. But Kai's like, well, I'm just coming to talk, which didn't really, it sort of upset Danielle, Dave, who he's currently paired up with. Don't think they're going to be paired up for much longer. But anyway, Kai goes off having a chat with Zara. What I found really weird, though, Dave, if you've got to tell someone, not that you're a nice guy, but if you've got to tell someone how intelligent you are, usually on the high end to nothing, because he told Zara how intelligent he was because he's a teacher, Dave. I mean, he is a PE teacher. I'm sure he's got degrees. He said he's got 3 degrees. He probably knows other subjects. But he was, I don't know with Kai. I can't work it out, Dave. He's a good-looking guy. He's tall. He's fit. He's got everything, you know, like going for him. But when he talks, because he's from Manchester as well, and he probably sounds like me, I fucking a toes curl. I'm just like, sometimes less is more. And I cannot work it. I got that right this time. I cannot work out whether I like him or not, because whenever he talks like a fuckboy, like a lad, doesn't he? You know what I mean?
It was in the right context, by the way, but when you're talking about bikinis and trying to make the opposite point, less is more is not the right adage to use. I agree. Chris, when I think of today's intellectuals, I don't generally think of PE teachers. But maybe, I mean, we're talking about people in Love Island, aren't we? So, you know, let's see. I don't really trust Kai. I think he's a bit of a player, but you know, he's not doing too much wrong, I wouldn't say, at the moment. But I mean, let's see where that goes. I think Danielle's not Danielle, Zara. I think she's doing what she has to. What I find interesting is, usually when they're sending in the bombshells, they'll either send in, you know, if they're not sending them in individually, they'll send in a couple of girls or a couple of boys, and so there's an immediate bond then, isn't there? So, again, I'll go back to season 5 when Tommy and Curtis go in. That was it for the whole season then. They had this little bromance, and then they'd always have these side chats, you know, strategizing about what they were going to do, what was going on in the villa and stuff. And you've seen that for all the other seasons as well. So kind of chatting about, you know, how everyone's acting, the girls are all a bit nervous and stuff, Zara was saying. So, yeah, ultimately, when you're coming in as a bombshell, surely, unless you're coming in the last few weeks and you're going to have to make a beeline for someone, she's doing exactly what she has to, isn't she? She's getting to know everyone. And I can't really figure out which way she's going to go yet. But with David, I think he's got his eyes on Tanya, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. And I think with David, he hasn't done anything wrong himself, has he? Obviously, it looks like she spoke to Ron, was talking about, like, you know, we need to do what we need to do. You know, she said she likes Shaq. He likes, who's he with Dave at the moment? Ron, is it Olivia?
Lana.
No, Lana. Sorry, Lana, the blonde girl. The blonde girl, yeah. Dave, who told us.
I mean, we were, before we started recording, talking about your great recollection of names. And you proudly pronounced that you are normally the one who remembers all the names, and have since proceeded to get everyone's name wrong.
Fuck you, David. Fuck off. Right, anyway. Touche. So I think the problem is, like, because it's been for me personally, because it's been such a lukewarm start to Love Island. I know Ekin-Su was just an anomaly when she came in, when it was ridiculous what happened. But because of all that last time, I'm sort of expecting so much more. You're right. Zara's got to do what she's got to do. Otherwise, she's out. If she pisses about and doesn't get with someone and lays a few markers down, who's she going to get with? So I totally agree with that, Dave. You're right. But I think going on to David and Tanya, David's done nothing wrong so far. I think Tanya, she thinks he's a good guy. She likes Shaq. We said that in the last episode. She said, oh, great to see Shaq again. But things can change ever so slightly. I mean, I think the problem is, I think like people like David, Tanyel did not have, even though he's coming as a bombshell, he's not had a lot of airtime yet properly. And the editing can absolutely crucify people in this show where they might be fantastic. Like say you watch the after sun, the other bits, whatever it is, the extra, and it's brilliant and everyone's having a great laugh, but you don't see that. And some of them are just like peripheral figures. You always get the Casa Amor people where one or two of the Casa Amor people you do not see from the minute they go in there to the minute they get kicked out, and they're just in the background. We found that out last year with Andrew, where apparently he got with one of the other girls and was all over her, but we never saw that edit, and he ended up getting with what suck your tit or whatever woman last time. So it's or whatever, yeah. So I think you're right. Zara and David have got to do what they do. There was a little bit of pushback on that one because Zara, as you say, pulled Kai, but then Tanyel. Dave, I'll tell you what, Kai, whatever I think is Kai, I think there's going to be problems there. She openly admitted that she's possessive. I was like, oh my God.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Yeah. Honestly, that was a weird interaction, that, wasn't it? Because, okay, we know that a lot of it gets edited out, so there could be a whole bunch of interactions. But to suddenly, out of nowhere, Chris, we're on day fucking 4. Out of nowhere, just go on about how fucking jealous you are. It's like, fucking hell, this is Glenn Close territory, this one. So, I think you should just run for the fucking hills, to be honest. She's a beautiful girl, but fucking hell, that was trouble in that scene.
Just a little bit, Dave. But you know what I did like, Dave? When Zara was with Will, and it was so fucking cringe. And obviously she's a bit of a extrovert. He's obviously an extrovert as well. And when she got up dancing on that like buffet thing and they were acting like, I don't know what it was so bizarre. And he was trying. He's just a tryhard and he's trying his hardest now to get coupled up.
Johnny Tryhard.
He is, isn't he? He's not in there for the relationship. He's in there for this exposure. And I've got to say, Dave, I posted it in Discord tonight. There's a video that was all over social media yesterday of Will talking like he's fucking Steve Irwin. What he does is he's there in his farm and he's got shorts on, the steel toe cap. He's got like a bit of a jacket on and he's chatting away to the camera like Steve Irwin. And he's like, this sheep's been stranded here. We've got to rescue it. No, if you see a stranded animal in desperation, you don't then go and grab your camera crew and stand there explaining to the audience how you're going to rescue and making yourself look like a good guy. Because one of his first lines is, well, we're going to have to get in there. I'm going to have to take my top off. I'm like, oh, yeah. Because when you're rescuing something, you obviously think all this out when you're going to rescue a distressed animal. It looked to me, Dave, like he pushed the animal in the fucking puddle to me. And the animal's looking at him as if to say, are you going to get me out or something, you tosser? You fucking pushed me in here just for clicks. It was so fucking fake for me. And a lot of these videos that I've seen go down the same route, but people lap it up, Dave. I'm not saying all of them are fake, but that one is terrible because it's like you've got a distressed animal. Don't make it more distressed by talking a load of bullshit like you fucking David Attenborough or something. Get the fucking sheep out. It was really fake. I'm sorry, it was.
It was very, very set up, wasn't it? And there was something, because I hadn't seen it until you sent it through tonight, and I was looking like where the sheep is. It seemed very unlikely. It's almost like if it was in a pool, it'd be right at the edge of the pool. Yeah. So right at the point where it's very easy to just kind of reach over and pull it out of the mud onto the more dry bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seemed like the sheep had got stuck in the perfect camera position. You know what I mean? It was just... it looked very, very set up for me. And we hadn't discussed it before you posted it, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's fucking set up, that is.
Yeah, because he's that in here. Yeah, we're going to rescue this fucking distressed sheep. All right, just fucking rescue it, mate. I don't get my camera out when you know what I mean? Fucking dog's out walking and he gets stuck somewhere. The first thing I think is, hang on, I need to post this on fucking TikTok, Dave. So,
like
yeah.
It's the fact that he's got someone else there with him. You know, he's not just stumbled across in the fucking wherever he is. You know, it's hardly like the Australian outback, is it? It's on his farm. And it's like, it's not even a shaky cam. It's not like, you know, I'll just set up my iPhone here or something. You know, it's like proper. You can see someone's holding it and stuff. Absolute bollocks. But Chris, I can't decide. I said I think he'll be gone in week 1 or 2.
Yeah, I
think the fact that he is a Johnny Triad and he's fucking hopeless at it. I just don't see anything. He's not even like, you know, like Anton. I keep going back to him, but you know, you could see why girls would fancy him and stuff. There's just nothing really I see about Will that makes me think someone would want to genuinely couple up with him. But I'm starting to enjoy his failures. So I don't know. I might be coming round there.
I think the thing is though, Dave, he's like he doesn't, to me, he doesn't suit Love Island. I think he's a contestant maybe on Maths or maybe on like even someone like, you know, the dating show with that Fred. You know, they go and have a meal and everything. You know, I know it's Celebs Go Date, but you know, whatever it is, that one, first date. First date, yes, and that's an interesting one because he seems legitimately on a different plane to everyone else, not in a bad way, just he's there for what he can do, and I know they're all there for that. But like you say, it's just not going to work out for him. I think you're right. He's either going to be Friend Island and go quite far, and everyone just lets him in because they like him and he's the entertainment and stuff, which we've seen in the past, or he'll be straight away out from the get-go. So let's see. He's an interesting pick for the show, if I'm being honest.
I mean, let's face it, Chris. I mean, this might be the cynic in me talking, but just imagine if he let it slip that he's got 1 million Instagram followers.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That'd be, a tactical coupling, wouldn't it?
Well, straight away, Dave, you know full well these people are so fucking, you know, follower hungry, aren't they? And all that it comes to, we know that. Yeah, you're right. You know what? That's a very good take on it, Dave. Whether he might have already said it, but he's just not shown it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'll let you have that one win of the series, Dave. But yeah,
thank you.
I was still laughing about you yesterday with my fucking reality radar, and you were like, "Well, you've just picked two of the most obvious fucking things."
I think the sky is going to be blue tomorrow.
Again,
it's not. I think we're only in week 1, but I think my highlight from you this week so far this season is confidently going on about Ron was a boxer.
Everyone's having a go at me.
He is.
Yeah, everyone's having a go.
You said on Discord tonight, Rob. It's just a double fucking fuck up, isn't it? So.
Yeah, which you wouldn't fucking stop going on about Rob the boxer. Right, anyway. So, Dave, we finally... Right, go on.
No, I mean, before we get to the final bit, I mean, can we just stick on Ron for a bit? Because I've said from probably day 2 that there's just something a bit off. And obviously we had the voicemail from Joey as well. And she was saying that, you know, he's playing this game and stuff, but... there is something about Ron that just winds me up. And it's every bit of dialogue. Like I say, he's trying to act like the agony ant. And every bit of dialogue feels like he's kind of giving the side eye to the camera. Like he's sort of having the conversation with the person, but he's also having it with the camera as well, like with the advice that he's giving out and stuff like that. It just... there's something about him. And talk about... fucking flaky, you know. He's talking about, oh yeah, totally, I'm all in there with Lana. Oh, maybe not. You know, maybe my head can turn on day 2. You know, so I'm just not like at all. And yet on day one, I thought he came across as a really nice bloke. But I think he's a fake nice guy.
Yeah, I think so. I think he could end up being a bit of a baddie. And I've come to a theory, Dave. I wanted to discuss this about David and Zara. And this is something on Love Island, which obviously, you know that these relationships are pretty much fucking dead in the water. They're fake anyway. Them two bombshells have come in, and they're obviously going to have the choice to make, aren't they, in a day or so, who they've got to pick, right? So he's going to split the two couples up. What the fuck would the show do if they all of a sudden, because it's so bullshit, they all of a sudden started liking each other. And they were like, David went, I'm going to pick Zara. You won't be able to do it, would you, because of the format of the show? So obviously, it was someone I was thinking about the other day, and I'm thinking, we need to discuss that, because you've never seen two bombshells come in and like each other. Do you know what I mean? That's why you know a lot of these relationships are fake.
I think it could happen, just not
now.
They've come in with the brief. They have to pick someone. And they've got a free hit, haven't they, this week? So they're going to pick someone. They're going to split someone up. Now, it's not out of the realms of possibility that from next week, because they keep having these little side chats and stuff, that they get through these side chats, about what their tactics are, what's going on in the villa and stuff, what the vibe is. It's not inconceivable that they could end up looking at each other, but I think that could happen, just not this week.
Yeah. It just comes to me, I was just like, well, we know that basically saying you're off limits to each other as a couple, I suppose, but it ruins the format, wouldn't it?
It'd be even better if David was like, you know what, I fancy Maya Jama much more than you lot, so Maya, should we do this or what? I'm just not interested in this anymore.
Is there any chance? Yeah.
But,
oh my God.
Yeah, we've been dying to get into this, Chris. So I must admit, we've managed to talk about half talking points for most of this episode. And when it's getting to the end of the episode, I'm like, oh, fucking hell. Even though I'd said yesterday, I fully predict Thursday's episode to be quite lukewarm as well, and then maybe they might give us a bit of drama. I think it'll be a cliffhanger on Friday. I think it'll come down to the couplings and like who are they going to get, and they'll leave us over the weekend with that thought. But we did right at the end get a little drama out of the beer pong game, didn't we?
Oh, we did, Dave. We did, my friend. So I was watching. I told you Sam's out the game, and then she could hear, I had my earphones. She's like, what's going on here? Because I sort of sat up, like we were watching it. As I ended up watching it on my phone, it was like, it's kicked off. She went, what? I went, it's kicked off. She went, oh, hang on a minute. She wants to then see it, Dave. I thought, I'm getting her back in. I'm reeling her back in. And she went, is that it? I went, hang on. I said, we've been scratching around for fucking scraps all week. This is it. But so Harris, again, he said a few comments, didn't he, about some of the, with Shaq and so, well, it wasn't at Shaq, but Shaq just laid into him, didn't he? And just said to him, like, what the fuck's got to do with you again? You're off again. And then it kicked off. They had to be split up, Dave. And I thought, oh, here we go. Yeah. But then it goes off, the bastards. But yeah, I was back in at that point. I've been quite lukewarm on what we've seen so far this week, but just seeing that little bit of tension, which it may be that within 2 minutes of this next episode, obviously the producer probably stepped in and said, well, you can't basically start fighting each other. The tension may evaporate, but for this whole thing of the next episode and waiting, I'm hoping that when we see the first look, it kicks off again, Dave, because Harris was not backing down there, Dave, at all, was he? Shaq was having none of it. It's like, I don't give a fuck who you are. We're on. I thought, oh, he's going to be a punch-up.
Fucking Harris, he needs to wind his fucking neck in, doesn't he? It's like, I'm not doing anything. But, building up to that, what you'd had, you could see something was going to happen. And we'll get to the girls as well, because I actually thought the first thing that got me in before the boys started kicking off was what happened with the girls. But I'll come back to that as we've gone to the boys. So, basically, because, like David kept going in for the kiss. And as far as Shaq's concerned, he had to wait a little bit to get his kiss from Tanya. Yeah. And let's face it, again, still week one, mate, so it's not that long. But because for me, it's different. When you're in a challenge situation, like all bets are off. You can't be getting put out. You're on fucking Love Island. You're playing the games. So what are you going to do? You're going to sit in the corner and not fucking play. So for me, it's slightly different rules when you're kissing inside the challenge when you're an outsider challenge. So, he had a little kiss eventually, but, he thinks like he's had to work hard for it. Whereas because David kept going in for the kiss with Tanya whenever he had a chance, you could see Shaq was getting more and more wound up by it. But again, it's all like in a challenge. And so I just think they need to chill out about it. But the fact that they do get wound up just makes for a bit better TV for me. So I think, as much as I don't particularly like Harris, like I say, I think he needs to wind his neck in. You can see him being really fucking annoying. And so because Shaq was so wound up, I think, from that game, I think he just had enough in that moment from Harris. And so, what it's like, Chris, when you get people and they're just fucking sticking their nose in, stirring the shit, and if you've got enough energy, in not bad mood, you can put up with that shit and you can just swallow it and just bite your lip and get on with it. But when you're wound up already, it's just like, oh, fuck off. So I can see how it all happened. But then it all happened so quick. I was like, did I miss something? Like, what actually happened? Because it didn't seem like we got the full cut. You couldn't really tell what Harris had said to piss Shaq off there.
No, I'm with you on that, because when I watched it again with Sam, I was thinking, I don't think he's done a lot wrong there. So whether it was a look or something he did that we didn't see, because he was quite zoomed out, wasn't he? Because he concentrated more on the girls, going, whoa, calm down. And then good thing was all the guys stepped in. I'm pretty sure they have security and stuff there as well, because we've seen that with the Aussie one, didn't we, where they had to step in and that, even though there was a punch-up between... what's he called? Grant Craps.
The thing is, Grant Crap and Eden, was it?
Eden, yeah.
But the thing is, their shirts were torn to shreds. They look like fucking Fred Flintstone or something. So you could tell something happened. Whereas with this one, it's fucking handbags, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nothing. I don't think it'll carry on, Dave, because they seem to sort of nip this sort of thing in the bud, don't we? Because it's bad PR. But for us, the listeners, the people watching it, you want a bit of tension, don't you? You want a bit of something. I do. I genuinely want this, like, where people because what happens, what frustrates me is when we as the audience see on these shows how bad some of these people are acting, but the friends enable it, don't they, carry on. I mean, look at Olivia on Maths. Her fucking behaviour was disgraceful on that Australian one. Yeah. And they had people, Sam and that, who were actually letting her get away with it and were sort of going against the other girls like it was their fault. And it was like, no, she's fucking horrible. But you're enabling this person who, she was fantastic, probably one of the best baddies ever on a reality show. She's got to be one of the best ever. And she went, didn't she?
She's
Dominica.
God tier, isn't she? God tier baddie.
Yeah, God tier, without a doubt. God tier baddie. And you need people like that. And I'm sure we'll get that when the Aussie one comes on. So you do need these sort of Harris, if he's going to be a little bit tetchy and cause a few bits of shit and that, when they go, I do it. I'm like, right, get them off. And he's on Big Brother. He's tossing you, voting against them. But once they leave, the show becomes shit. So you do need that. Whatever we say, you do need that. So let's see, Dave. But yeah, just enough for me to sit up and go, oh, I'm in. I'm back in. This is what we needed. We needed just a little bit of tension.
Yeah, but and I tell you, the fact that there's a one drink policy or whatever it is now, and not much alcohol, that sort of helped it get diffused quite quickly. But you can tell Harris will not forget this.
No,
this will not be put to bed. This will always be there. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. But Chris, before that, I thought the thing that pulled me back into the series, to be honest, happened before that. Because this was just blokes being dickheads. Before that, though, you had the proper Love Island seed of drama be planted. Because in the beer pong game, again, it's all a challenge, so it's all a bit silly and stuff. But it's when Zara gets the question, or she gets the challenge, to kiss on both cheeks the person who's most two-faced. And as soon as that is read out, you're thinking, oh, shit, you best play this right. We've just covered, in fact, it's not out yet, is it? But it'll be out in a couple of weeks, I think, Goodfellas. And it's all that mafiosa stuff, isn't it? You know, all that etiquette, kissing on both cheeks and whatever. And I thought, oh, choose wisely. And she goes straight to Olivia, and she does not like that, does she? And then, she's rallying all the girls as well. They're talking about, she should, I think Danielle's saying, she should have just picked one of the boys. Like, it's this massive fucking thing. And this is the storm in a teacup type of drama that I quite like.
Yeah, it's true. And just, it's funny though, because I think when you get this drama, and funny enough, Dave, as you were just chatting, I was just replaying that scene with Harris and Shaq, and it's actually Harris tells him to shut the fuck up to Shaq, because Harris is winding David and Shaq up, saying, "How was the kiss?" Knowing they're going to get reaction. And that's why Shaq says to him, "You fucking, you do this all the time," and he tells Shaq to shut the fuck up. And then that's how it all erupts. But I think what I found weird about the Two-Face thing was, Dave, and we've only got this off our good friends on Discord. Olivia and Zara know each other, Dave, but they're pretending that they don't know each other. There's been posts on social media. So this is what pisses me off about these shows, and they're lying. And we saw it, that Aussie one that time, didn't we? The Australian Love Island Series 2, where there was the two contestants. There was a girl and a lad. They were under the same agent. They're having a meal in a restaurant. About 2 months before, not once in the show did they acknowledge they knew each other or anything. They actually acted like they never met each other when they first sing it. So this is why I'm skeptical, Dave. And like someone said, like you said it to me, maybe that's why she was pissed off, because they know each other. And I just don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's what annoys me about this. Social media is all their friends, but also people snoop, Dave. There's always a bit of tea. Someone finds something, don't they? So yeah, that's why I don't really buy half of that stuff.
I'd say, what do you reckon? Maybe somewhere between 60 to 80% of this lot know each other already.
Yes,
like you can't be in such a massive circle. It's not like just random people from the UK. It's like any little niche area, isn't it? It's like this kind of... Because it's all influencers now, isn't it? There's no one actually there, quote-unquote, for the right reasons. These are all influencers, so they must know about each other, I'm sure. And you see it on maths and stuff as well. It's just like... I can't remember the example now, but, someone said, I think I slid into their DMs. It was on not last season, I think it was the season before that, on maths, wasn't it? But yeah, it's just, I try and park that, Chris, because if I think about it too deeply, then it just puts me off the show, because you might as well watch Towie or something like that. You might as well watch something scripted.
Yeah, that's true. Because I know Olivia's popped up on EastEnders this last week as in one of the scenes, and it's front and centre on her. I don't know what.
Olivia?
Olivia off this Love Island.
Oh, this Olivia. Okay.
Yeah. So she's just popped up because she's a background artist on EastEnders, and it's quite a prominent shot. They saw it on social media, but also as well, Olivia's friends with Sam Fraser and Billy Fraser. Now we watched their shows, me and Sam. They were off Towie. So Essex girl, David's an Essex lad. They've all know each other. They'll all be putting words in with different people to get them on. It's not rocket science. It's very, very insulated, isn't it, together? It's like once you're in sort of thing. Yeah. So, yeah, I get it. Look, it's a fucking easier way to do it than actually going and working 9 to 5. And if you can earn all that money, you're going to earn more money doing this if you get the right deals and agent and everything. So I sort of understand it.
Yeah, I guess it's just... Not to get too serious, we're in week 1, but you think if you're living such a superficial existence that basically, like you're a quote unquote influencer because you post pictures of yourself in a bikini or something, right? So you get loads of follows, loads of likes. It just seems like such a superficial existence to me that is very precarious, We all get older, and I don't know. I think in the earlier seasons when you had real people with real jobs, and then the fame kind of comes as a byproduct, but you actually genuinely wanted to go on the show. I think that's one thing. Whereas, if someone's genuinely coming on here to grow their following and live off this narcissistic lifestyle. It troubles me a bit. You know, there's some negative history with the show and stuff as well, and I just think the trend of getting more of these types of people on, like they're very kind of superficial influences, I feel like that it just could end up badly.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair comment. And like I say, not to be too serious, but it is points that need raising about the shows that we watch, especially this. We've seen it, haven't we, over the years? It can take a sinister turn, unfortunately. Once that fame actually subsides, it's a hell of a way to come back. And there's a great documentary, by the way, on YouTube. I'll have to try and post it in the Facebook group. I think this one may have already done it, actually, but regarding Life After Love Island, it's called. It's about 45 minutes, and it's some of the contestants.
What is that on again? I need to watch that.
YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. So I'll definitely have to watch that, because it is troubling. Because I mean, ultimately, like I say, if you've not got something behind you. I mean, Chris, these people can put on makeup unbelievably, even the blokes, and then dress themselves to look absolutely pristine, because you contrast, how they look in the evenings to when they wake up in the morning. It's night and day, and you think, fucking hell, that does take genuine skill to get yourself presented in that way. It's a skill I don't have. But let's say the followers do dry up, or what, for whatever reason, people start dropping off and the fame starts dropping off. What are you actually fucking left with? Well, I can put my makeup on really well. Well done, you. So I just. It's just interesting. I still wonder. I'd love to see the viewing figures on this, but because you've got more influencers, or maybe it's us, Chris. Maybe we're just too fucking old and too cynical, and we watch this and we're, we know the types of people who are coming on the show now versus a few seasons ago. That it invites a bit more cynicism. Whereas I suppose if you're a casual watcher, and you just like to embrace the whole thing, maybe you just immerse yourself and you don't actually care that they're trying to grow their Instagram following. You're invested in the drama. You're invested in their quote-unquote love journey, Chris.
That sounds very fucking wrong, Dave, but love journey.
Here comes Dr. Love.
Right, anyway. We're definitely showing our age,
99.99% of people are not going to get that reference. Sorry, on the VHS Strikes Back, we've just reviewed Earth Girls Are Easy, and that's one of the cheesiest lines in that. So,
don't watch it. There you go. Massive thanks, everyone, as always. We're going into the weekend. We've got another episode to sort of close off the week, and then I think we get a day off, Dave, because it's 6 days this bloody thing's on. But the behind the scenes stuff, I think, starts Saturday in the UK and ITV2 as well. So if you do get a chance, that's usually a more enjoyable show, to be honest. Unseen, that's it, Dave. That's the one. That's what I meant. Anyway, if you want to
are you having a stroke or something?
No. Right, anyway. Stop it. So, I've lost my trail of thought. So if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media @cdrealitycast, please go over to Facebook, Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast, and get over there. Big thanks to Charlene, as always. If you do want to support us a little bit more, get up to patreon.com/cdrealitycast. So, today's roll call of honour is Ken Gustafson, looking at the green, Lauren, Tracy, Hennessy, Susan, Priscilla, Dee Dee, Katie, Libby, Joanna, Brianna, Helen, Keith, Michelle, Gillian, Zoe, Kristen, Maggie, Annabeth, Kate, Megan, and Cassie. So thank you so much, guys. We do really, really appreciate all your support. And good stuff, Dave. So we survived 4 days. We survived 4 days, have we? And we're going into the weekend. So it's week 1 of 8 out the way, Dave, just to sort of cheer you up there.
Awesome. Almost there. Almost at the end. of week 1.
Yeah.
But like I say, I'm expecting a bit more drama tonight, Chris. Not just the fallout of what we saw tonight, but maybe a little bit more to see us into the weekend. So I'm a little bit optimistic about what week 2 will look like. But thank you very much, sir. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks to all our supporters. I'll speak to you next time.
Bye.